There are many great poems in this book. I'd love for everyone to get a copy. Sometimes, poets, we live in a dark space. Okay, as poets, we live in a dark space. So there's things like writing that keeps us in a happy place or helps us to release into the world our deepest, most innermost thoughts. But yeah, I enjoy writing. It frees me. Just as I wrote, well, there's a poem in the first book which is called Freed. This was pretty much written after my mom died. This is I believe it's the only poem that is recent. It's called Freed. I sit here like a shadow, cast aside, dark and mysterious. Waves of disdain surround the emotion so deep that the ocean cannot see its depth in the deepest waters. I sit amongst the grainy, gaping ground, giving way to the surrounding elements that provoke loneliness felt. But my mind is not captured by the brick walls that bestow me as I sit in this metal container on wheels, which keeps me warm in the winter weariness of the day. I'm joined to the scripture, and it tells me not to be anxious about anything, which sets me free. I thought about the loss again. I thought about the loss again of a caring mother and tried to wrap my weary, watering eyes around my sadness. One thing I realize is that my mind will free me from any constraints on my body. I am freed. And I'm grateful that I was able to write that because, when you lose a mother, let me tell you, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that anyone can say that will give you any comfort. People who haven't lost a mother, of course, they're not going to understand that. And I don't expect them to, because when my mother passed, I was the most lonely in the world. I looked around, I'm like, where are my friends? Only one, really. None of the rest even stopped their lives to come see about me. But I'm not here to discuss that. I'm excited about the books. I will put everything behind me that doesn't matter to me, okay? One lesson learned is that when you're in your darkest hour, those are the people that will be around you. The others, okay? Those are real friends. I appreciate my best buddy, Mimi. A lot of you know her as Millie. We were best friends. Have been for years. We were co-workers, everything, best friends. She has been my ride or die. And I appreciate her for that. She's not a Facebook friend. She is a friend. Okay, so with that being said, y'all meet me. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about the book, Thoughts of a Rising Soul, as well as Thoughts of a Dying Soul, because, I was going to just let my words die with me. I was prepared to do that because when I looked around and saw that, I don't know, I was just saying, nothing I say is going to matter in the world, nothing I do is going to matter in the world. But I had to stop being selfish and look around me, because there's kids out here. There's kids out here that are hurting. There's adults out here that's hurting. And I realized that how appreciative people were of my words in the street. I would just read people a poem or say a poem to someone, and they just gave me a hug. I had a young man about 8 years old come up to me one day at a poetry slam in White Plains, New York, where I'm from. And he stated to me that he liked what I read. He said, I liked what you read. And I was looking at him like, you understood that poem? Okay. Well, thank you. But I was really floored by that. And that's the one thing I said, well, you know what? I'm going to continue writing, because I believe my words can connect even with the younger generation. So anyway, get the book, Thoughts of a Dying Soul, Thoughts of a Rising Soul. Make sure you go online and order them. They're on Amazon.com. Thawts spelled Thawts, purposely spelt that way. So get your copy. Get your copies. Get some for Christmas. Get someone for someone for Christmas. Help their soul. Help them to heal. That's what my purpose in life is now, is to help people heal. You're not taking on all these journeys in life to just let them falter and waver in the wind. You're taking on these journeys to learn a lesson and to also teach a lesson to someone else. So get the books, Thoughts of a Rising Soul and Thoughts of a Dying Soul, on Amazon.